Hello to all of you that are early. I love it. Early bird gets a worm. Maybe not in this case, but I love the enthusiasm and that you guys are ready to dig into this. So welcome for those of you that are early. This is the Breakthrough Your Business Barriers webinar. We're going to be giving you guys a ton of great content. It's going to be fun and engaging, and you're going to walk away from this hopefully with a new mindset, ready to attack the future of your business and life. So hang on, we'll get started in just a second. So excited that you guys are here, and this is going to be a great time. T-minus 2 minutes and get ready for liftoff. One minute and we're going to get started with Breakthrough Your Business Barriers. So excited, you guys. All right. Hey, thank you guys so much for being here today. Again, I've said this so many times already, but I am so excited for this webinar, for the content that we are going to deliver to you guys. I know that I'm enthusiastic about presenting it, so hopefully you guys are ready to really receive a bunch of great content, content that you're going to be able to apply ASAP. So we got some people hopping on at the last minute here, and I'm sure people will continue to hop on as we go through this. But for those of you guys that are here, I just want to express my gratitude and appreciation to all of you and just say welcome. This webinar is brought to you guys by The Change Element, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But again, this is going to be some really practical, tangible information that you guys can use to start to really break through those barriers that hinder us. And I'm going to start off by asking a question. Do you really wish that you could experience more success professionally whether it's in your job or if you're an entrepreneur, it's in your business. And my guess is, that's a bit of a rhetorical question. My guess is the answer is yes. That's exactly why you guys are here. So I just want to tell you that you are in the right place. So let's go ahead and get started, and people can continue to jump on as we go through this. Again, this is how you can break through your business barriers. This webinar is really all about you and your business. It's really about the things that are holding you back from getting to where you want to go. Now, a second ago, I asked a quick question, who wanted to achieve more? And really, I'm sure that all of you responded with yes, of course, we want to break barriers. We want to be able to achieve more. And in theory, that would be great. But perhaps you have already convinced yourself that that's exactly what you've been trying to do for a long, long time. And you just haven't been able to really get over that hump. So that ends today. Today, we're going to get you over that hump. We're going to get you started on a new trajectory, on a new path that helps you not only avoid barriers, but when they do come up, you'll be able to get through them and get over them quickly. So yeah, people are jumping on here. Quick administration stuff. There is a link right below this video, and you guys can download a PDF and use that to take your notes on. You can take them digitally with whatever your PDF viewer is, or print it out real quick and get that ready to start taking notes by hand. What I'm going to show you today is that there is a very real and practical way to break through the barriers that so many of us face. And I know that I face them. Many of my friends that are in the entrepreneurial world face them as well. And really, it's a common thing that not only entrepreneurs, but also business professionals face on a consistent basis. And so we're gonna give you information that's gonna help you get over just that. So before we get started, I just want to say, I know that you guys are here because you want to get through these barriers. And so because that's the case, I want you guys to be able to pay attention to the information that we're going to be going over so that you can get the most out of this as possible. So in order to eliminate distractions, turn off your phone or put it on vibrate, close down whatever other windows you have going, any social media that you're engaging in right now. But first, you can tweet or Facebook this webinar. That's great. You can do that first. But like I said, we also provided the worksheet for those of you that are just jumping on, so you can download that worksheet and take notes as we go. And worksheets are a great way to really keep you engaged with the webinar and keep you moving forward with us. So you can download that real quick right now. Okay, so now that I've got your attention, I've got 3 goals for today, and I think it's important for me to let you guys know up front what my goals are so that I can deliver on those, and so that you guys can hold me accountable to deliver on these goals as well. So here are the 3 goals. First, if you're an entrepreneur, my goal is to really give you the foundation that you need to be able to break barriers, and you want to break these barriers so that you can achieve sustainable results. Look, as a business owner, it's great to experience success, but if it's only a peak, and if that success all of a sudden falls off a cliff and is gone, then you're right back to where you started. And so I want to give you the foundation you're going to need to break barriers and achieve sustainable results. Goal number 2, if you're looking to grow in your professional life, then my goal is to help you conquer the obstacles that are between you and your success. And really, that's the things that stand between where you are right now, today, and where you want to go in the future. And then third thing, my third goal is for those of you that stay until the end, and I really encourage you to do so, I have a free gift for you. It's a free video. Really, focus is such a huge part of our success. And focus is such a huge part of being able to break through the barriers that hold us back. And if you're like me at all, then perhaps you've struggled with distractions. And it's been a really difficult process to not only focus for the immediate, but to be able to stay focused for the long run. And so for those of you that stay to the end, the gift that I have for you guys is really, really great. This is a video. It's going to be, you guys are going to have free access to this video, and it's called Reclaiming Your Focus. And basically, this video is going to give you tips, tricks, and hacks that are all backed by science, and they help you focus on what's most important. There's a quote that I absolutely love, and it goes something like this. It's not verbatim, but it says, more than your effort, more than the experience that you have, and even more than your natural ability, it is focus that is the key to great success. It is focus that is the key to great success. And so in this video, Reclaiming Your Focus, you're going to be able to do just that, reclaim your focus and step into more success. So again, that gift is for those of you that stick with me until the end. And I don't know why you wouldn't, because I'm going to continue to give you a bunch of great info as we go. But a little bit of background on me first. My name is Corey Damon. I worked as the director of operations for just about a decade, and that was for a mid-sized company. And I love this position. It was great. I was able to lead teams, engage with people, to problem solve, and really help create the vision for the future of the company. But as wonderful as that was, I've always had sort of this longing, this itch to jump out into business on my own. And so I did that 8 years ago. And I was able to successfully build a company and experience growth year over year. And in February of 2015, earlier this year, I was able to sell it, which was a goal of mine. I've also I am a founder and CEO of a company called T-Dojo, which is a custom online apparel and campaign fundraising company. And then I am the co-founder of The Change Element. And again, that's who's bringing you this webinar today. This is The Change Element. And I'm going to talk more about that in just a bit here. Some of the personal things about me: I love to read. I think reading is such a key to moving forward to growth and to success in our life. And so I love to read. I also like to write, but I've got to be honest that just getting started with writing can be such a hurdle. But once I get in the flow of things, I really do enjoy it. I'm also a do-it-yourselfer. I love working on projects around the house. It really just helps me escape everything else and focus on that. And then a recent development is real estate investing. Man, I am just so compelled by real estate, and I love it, and looking forward to a great future with that. But maybe more importantly than anything that I've said to this point is that I absolutely love my wife's chocolate chip cookies. Now, my guess is that some of you out there that are listening, you make a mean chocolate chip cookie. And so if you think your cookie's better than my wife's, I have no problem doing a taste test. So you can send those to me. First, send me an email so I know that you're not a stalker, and then I'll send you an address to send those to. Just kidding. You don't need to send cookies or anything else. But I love my wife's cookies. Look, there are a lot of things that I've been able to do right over my career, both in the corporate world as well as an entrepreneur. And I'm grateful for that. I'm so happy that I've experienced the success I have. But, and this is a big but, I've done a lot of things wrong along the way. I've hit those barriers. I've fallen into those pitfalls, and I've faced obstacles, and I've learned. And that's the thing, is I look at failure perhaps a little bit differently than a lot of people do. And it's unfortunate, but I see failure always as a learning opportunity, to learn what went wrong, to have a different perspective, and then apply those things going forward. But look, over my time, I've done a lot of things wrong. Now, after doing this for 15 years, I've discovered some things, right? And so here are some of the things that I've discovered. First, that success doesn't just happen. Success is not going to just fall into your lap. Success is actually envisioned, it's even dreamt, and then success is planned long before it's ever achieved. I've also discovered that life is short. Like our time here on earth is precious. And I'm gonna say this a few times, that our time is our most precious asset. And now I want to make the most of every day. Now, I've also learned that motivation and passion are fleeting, that they are not enough, that we need something else besides just our motivation and our passion for a particular vision or a project. We need something else to sustain us through it. And then also, I've discovered that you have to have a clear plan. And really the biggest difference between successful people and unsuccessful people are that they have a proven plan. They have a step-by-step system in place. And we're going to get to more of that in just a bit as well. So these are some of the things that I've discovered over my 15-year career, and I've discovered these the hard way. Again, being completely transparent with you guys, look, I've made the wrong decisions along the way, but I've learned from those things. And here's the thing is we can either make mistakes on our own, or we can learn from other people's mistakes. And so I hope that today you guys are able to learn from my mistakes. And I want to give you really the easy way to doing this. Now, for us to understand and avoid the hard way, we first need to know what the hard way is. So here's a couple examples of possibly what the hard way looks like. First, maybe you want success, but you just don't know how to define it. See, you have an idea in your head, but it's not very specific. You just haven't clearly stated what success is for you. And so how do you know when you're ever going to get there? Or maybe another hard way is that you start working hard towards your goals, but you do it without an action plan. So maybe you've been able to define your goal and you know what it is, it's clear, and you start working really hard towards that goal, but you do it without really having a step-by-step action plan. And then also another hard way is that you depend on your own excitement or willpower to keep you going. Now, I have a bit of a shiny object syndrome, and so I get excited really easy, and I want to go after things. But it is absolutely fleeting and is not sustaining. And oftentimes we depend on that excitement and willpower, and really it's just not enough. You know, it's a lot like banging our head on that brick wall right there. We continue to hit that wall over and over again. And so this is the hard way. And maybe you're able to climb over that wall or eventually get through that wall, but that's going to take time. And as I said, time is a precious resource. So I want to save you so much time. Now, do you guys want the proven, easy to follow, clear-cut way to break through your business barriers? And again, it's a bit of a rhetorical question because that's exactly why you guys are here. So I want to give you just that. I want to give you the proven, easy to follow, clear-cut way to break through your barriers. Now, in the past 6 months, I've achieved more than I have in the previous 5 years. Now, I'm involved in 3 different businesses. I have things in my personal life, in the community around me. And so I have had a busy life over the last 5 years, and I've been doing a lot of things. But I've got to tell you, in the last 6 months, things have gone up to another level. And it's been so amazing. And a huge part of that is because I actually work less doing it. Now, this quick disclaimer before we move on, and I'm not going to give you a bunch of lawyer jargon, but just some simple truths. There are a couple things. I'm going to give you 3 secrets, and they are super simple to understand. But simple does not always mean easy. So while these things are simple, you're going to need 2 things. You're going to need one. You're going to need intention. It's going to be so important that you are decisive, that you make a decision to apply these secrets to your life. And then 2, it's taking action. Look, information, all the information in the world is no good if you don't do anything with it. And so action, and you're going to hear this quite a few times as we go through it, but action is so important. Without it, we're left to just sitting on our hands. So intention and action, you guys need those. And like that little caricature shows, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I'm going to give you guys some great information that you can use, but it ultimately is up to you to actually use that information. Now, let's go through these 3 secrets real quick. The first one is anyone can achieve success, but not everyone will. Secret number 2, working harder leads to failure. That's not a typo. Working harder leads to failure. And then secret number 3, partners will make you, not break you. So without further ado, let's jump into the first secret and get this thing going. Anyone can achieve success, but not everyone will. The biggest lie that we buy into is that we can't. We tell ourselves that our circumstances are different or that our situation is too hard. And in reality, there is always somebody out there with a more difficult situation or in a harder situation than we are. But this really isn't about comparing one difficult life to another, right? This is just about what we convince ourselves is true in our head. And so we tell ourselves that we can. And when we do that, we end up settling. We settle for the status quo. We settle for what's currently going on in our life, even though there's this pit or this void inside of us, and we know we want something more. We just tell ourselves we can't, and so we settle. And what I want is for you guys to settle for more, to take the impossible and turn it into the possible. And that's absolutely something that you can do. So what negative beliefs do you have about yourself? Another way to say that is, what lies have you bought into? I know personally for me, I bought into a few lies. And this was back when I was working in the corporate world. And I knew I was ready to jump out on my own. But I told myself that I wasn't capable of starting and then running a business. And then I also believed and convinced myself that I didn't have the skill set necessary to be an entrepreneur. And guys, I've got to tell you that it took me 5 years to finally get over these negative beliefs. I knew for 5 years that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I allowed these negative beliefs, these lies that I convinced myself of, to hold me back. And again, our time is our most precious asset. And so because of these lies, I lost 5 years. Look, we all have negative beliefs that we believe. And this is an absolute truth, that we have to be able to get past those lies if we're going to be able to be successful and experience success. You know, it's said that we are our own worst enemy, and this is true. And what I mean is that it's our beliefs that we have about ourselves that can be our biggest obstacle. They can be the things that are the hardest to get over. So what negative beliefs have you convinced yourself of? And whatever those things are, you've got to be able to put them in perspective, understand that they are not true, and get over those obstacles. Now, what separates successful people from everyone else? Is it their skill? Do they have more ability than everybody else? Or is it their intelligence? Are they all geniuses and the rest of us aren't? Or is it their resources? Maybe we think that they were just born into material status and wealth, and so they already have the resources they need. It's really none of those things. What separates successful people from everyone else is, first, a proven goal-setting system. And that's key, that we understand it's a proven system. It's a system that they can rely on to keep them moving in a particular direction. Two, they set goals that actually align with their passion and their purpose. And what I mean by that is, not only do they have a goal-setting system that helps them create those goals, but the goals that they're creating, they actually align with the things that they want to do most in life and what they feel their purpose in life is. And so they're able to connect those two things together. Also, thirdly, they have a plan of action. And you'll hear this several times as well. A plan of action is so important. All the goals in the world and the best goal system in the world is useless if we don't have a plan of action to actually implement what we've learned. Now, Arnold, the great Schwarzenegger, he said, the mind is the limit. As long as the mind can envision the fact that you can do something, you can do it. And I love this quote. If you know his story, it's an amazing story. And he has so many good quotes, but this one in particular, I love. It really does start in the mind. And that's where our obstacles begin. So that's secret number one. Anyone can achieve success, but not everyone will. And so the ultimate question for you and for me is, will you achieve success? Will I achieve success? Secret number two, working harder leads to failure. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And here's why. You know, we all, many of us have this hustle mentality, especially entrepreneurs and those of us in the business world, business professionals. We think that we need to hustle in order to move up the ladder, in order to move forward. And so we put our head to the ground and we muscle through it. And we think that if we just really power through it on our own accord, then we'll make it. But here's what happens is we end up doing more. We do more work, we work longer, and we work harder. And we're doing all of these things with a hope. And really that hope is that we'll have a breakthrough, that by doing more and more, we'll be able to get over this barrier, get through this wall, and be able to have a breakthrough. But here's what happens. When we continue to do more and more and more, we get overwhelmed. And so what's the big deal with getting overwhelmed? Well, being overwhelmed will almost always lead us to failure. See, because when we're overwhelmed, our creativity and our reasoning skills and even our judgment suffer. They're not at 100%. And so when we're overwhelmed, all of these other areas of our life begin to suffer. And all of that leads to failure. Now, this was me. I was hustling, and I was putting in long hours. My wife can attest to that. And I continued to just really plug away at it, to really put my head down and go for it, and really work harder and harder and harder. But nothing was changing. Nothing was changing. The only thing that was changing was that I was working longer hours and I was working harder, but nothing else was changing. I wasn't seeing the results that I was expecting. And so here's what I learned in that process. First, that hard work isn't enough. We can work hard 24 hours a day, right? But that's not enough. There's got to be something more. Also, I learned that there is no pride in being exhausted. You know, people brag about working late, and people brag about only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but none of this is good, and it's not even healthy for us. And then also, I've learned that I had to do things differently. Look, when we are hitting our head on that wall over and over again, regardless of how hard we hit our head on the wall and things aren't changing, we need to make a change ourselves. We need to do things differently. Now, what is the definition of insanity? We all have heard this, right? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, here's the funny thing about this process is that it's fairly easy to recognize insanity in other people, but we have an extremely difficult time seeing this pattern in our own lives. And this is what I was doing. I was trying to do the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And so what did I do? I stopped everything. You know, what I was doing, it just wasn't working. And so I needed to stop everything, and I needed to reevaluate. And so what I did was I took time. I took time to learn about myself, my business, and also my plan. And what I discovered was that I really didn't have a plan. You know, I researched blogs and books and all kinds of videos on business success. And I learned about strengths and weaknesses, mine in particular. I learned about the past failures that I had, as well as some of the successes I had. But maybe most importantly, I saw what other people were doing that were succeeding. I looked at their life to see what they were doing and why they were having success. And then I applied that to my own life. And here's what I did. Because I really didn't have a plan at all, I took the time to actually create one. And I did that by prioritizing, by setting goals that were really based on what was most important to me, goals that would actually move me forward towards the life that I envisioned for myself. And then I would schedule out my day. And I know this sounds simplistic, but this is really a game changer. I scheduled out my day, my week, and my month, and now I actually knew what I needed to do and when I needed to do it. And the amazing thing is, all of a sudden, I saw that I had so much more time than I originally thought I had. And then I conquered. Yeah, that's what we all want to do. We want to conquer this. Don't you guys want to conquer and really get over the barriers that you have? I know you do, because I did as well. And so what I did to conquer was I set routines and habits. And these routines and habits, they were really the things that helped me accomplish the goals. They were that step-by-step action plan that I needed to implement into my daily life. I did really only the things that were absolutely essential, the things that were going to move me forward. I figured out what I was wasting time on, and I stopped doing those things. And again, that sounds simplistic, but until we actually look and have perspective on where we're spending our time, it's so easy to waste time on so many things that are not essential. And then I figured out what gave me the most return. And whatever that thing was, whatever I was getting the most return on, man, I went all in on it. I put all the chips in and went for it. And the crazy thing, which isn't so crazy, is that I finally saw success. I was achieving more and I was doing it in less time. My wife was thankful and I was certainly thankful. And I'm sure the people around me were thankful because I wasn't working 18 hours a day. And so I was a much more patient and understanding person when I finally discovered success and doing it in less time. Now, instead of working more, I work less, which you guys have heard now, which seems crazy, right? And it wasn't just about working less. It's about being strategic. It's about understanding what you need to do, when you need to do it, and how you're going to get it done. So that's secret number 2, that working harder actually leads to failure. And so again, learn from my mistakes, learn from the mistakes of others, and don't make the mistakes that we have. Actually create a plan, understand what your plan is, and work that plan. Now, secret number 3, partners will make you, not break you. Now, when we hear the word partners or partnership, typically we think of 2 things. First, we think of business partners, and that's a picture of me and my partners at the Change Element, Tim and Steven, and that was an old webinar that we did on Chaos to Clarity. So typically we think of business partnerships. The other type of partners that we think of are intimate, relational partnerships with significant others. But partnerships are actually much, much broader than that. And so my hope is that I can help break the constraints on our idea of what partnerships are, because partnerships are not just about business partnerships and not just about intimate relational partnerships. It's the scope is much, much wider than that. And so for some of us, we have a negative view of partners and the idea of partnerships. And perhaps here's why. A few things. One, we want credit for our success. And this is completely understandable, and there's nothing wrong with this. Look, you work hard and you put in the time and the effort and the sweat equity to achieve success. And so why wouldn't you want the credit for doing just that? Or perhaps it's, we think that we're going to have to give up control if we bring on a partner. And for many of us, control is such an important factor, although we don't always admit that it is. Control is such an important factor in our life, and we think we're going to lose some of it. Also, maybe we don't want to answer to anyone else. Look, we have all dreamt at one time or another of being our own boss, right? And a big part of that is because we call the shots. It's our vision and we do what we want to do. And so if we have a partner, then maybe we're going to be held accountable to what we're doing. And look, if there is success, and that's what we're all going for, if there is success and we have a partner, then that means that there's going to be less for me and for my family. We're going to have to split that success between the 2 or 3 or however many partners there are. Look, these are all legitimate views of partnerships, negative views of partnerships. And as a matter of fact, this was my story. I thought all 4 of these things. I was struggling. I was banging my head on a wall, but the last thing I wanted was to bring in a partner. I thought that it would only diminish me, not actually give me greater return. And it wasn't until I was able to get over this hump that I started to see success. There's a quote from Thomas Jefferson, and it goes like this, and I love this quote. He said, "He who receives an idea from me receives instruction himself without lessening mine, as he who lights his taper at mine receives light without darkening me." Now, Thomas Jefferson wrote this in 1800, so it's a little outdated. So let me rephrase this so that we can all really wrap our minds around it. Look, what he is saying is essentially we have nothing to fear as far as losing or being diminished when it comes to partnerships. Really a great way to look at this is, let's say that I'm holding a candle and the candle has a flame on the top, so the candle's lit. Now, you walk up to me and you have a candle as well, but your candle isn't lit. And then what you do is you hold your candle to mine, and all of a sudden your wick has a flame, your candle's lit, and then you walk away. See, here's the amazing thing is that while you held your candle to mine, I was able to ignite your candle and give you a flame. But at the same time, my flame did not diminish. And so the same is true with our partnerships. We fear that we're going to lose something, that we're going to be diminished somehow. But in reality, we're not. We're able to give and receive without being diminished or losing. And so this quote was huge and really helped me get over this hump. Now, I want to just share with you guys 5 partnerships that are cool. They're cool to me anyway. And really, they've transformed the world that we live in now. And the first one is the Wright brothers. They gave us wings. It was really their ingenuity, their creativity, and their hard work that led to flight. And now the world we live in is so small. We can travel to all ends of the world in so little time. The world is so much smaller because of what they did for us in their partnership. The next one, James Watson and Francis Crick, they illuminated the structure of life. It was their work in DNA and discovering the structure of DNA that has revolutionized science and really humanity in general. Another partnership, John Lennon and Paul McCartney held our hands. And now, no disrespect to George and Ringo, but let's just be transparent, and it was John and Paul's show. Actually, I say that because my partner, Tim, loves the Beatles, and I just wanted to rub that in his face a little bit. But the Beatles, they transform music, not only what we hear in music, but the business of music as well. Another partnership was Larry Page and Sergey Brin. They opened our eyes. They have literally, with Google, have literally put the world at our fingertips. We can search for almost anything and everything. An amazing partnership there and what they've created. And then Tina Fey and Amy Poehler made us laugh. Now, this partnership's a little bit different because it's not formal, right? They weren't intentional when they came together. They didn't form an LLC or an S-Corp. They don't have an agreement of some sort. There is just something special, something dynamic and unique that happens when these two get together, and it just draws us in. We are so captivated by it. And really, it makes us laugh so much. Now, they are so talented on their own, but their partnership does something so special. And so those are 5 partnerships that have really changed the world that we live in today. So hopefully at this point, you guys see that partners are not a negative thing. As a matter of fact, they help us see what we don't see. They bring different skills and abilities to the table, skills and abilities that we don't have. They help motivate us. They help carry the burden with us, which is huge, so we don't have to do it alone. They make us more productive, and you know what happens when we're more productive? They also make us more successful. Now, that's the negative view of partnership. Some of us, we don't have that. We have a very positive view of partners and the idea of partnerships. We know that partners would be great, that getting help would be great. We know that we wouldn't have to do everything alone, that we would have help in that regard. We know that there's accountability and even encouragement with partners. And perhaps we even know that it gives us another perspective, another viewpoint to see things that we don't see. And the list really goes on and on. But even though we have a positive view of partnerships, for one reason or another, we are reluctant to have a partner ourselves. And maybe these are some of the reasons. First, you just don't know how to find a partner. Or 2, I'm too introverted. And really, this was a struggle of mine as well. 3, you just feel funny asking somebody to partner with you. There's something that's just awkward about that conversation. Or 4, you don't want to bother people. Everybody has a full plate, a packed schedule. Everybody has stuff that they're doing, and I don't want to ask them to do just another thing. And so these are some of the reasons that we're reluctant, and we need to get past these because these are some of the negative beliefs that we convince ourselves are true and they're not. So how do we get past these? First, we need to eliminate the formalities. And what I mean by that is, often we have a view in our head that partnerships are this formal thing. Now, sometimes they are, and that's great, but by far and away, most partnerships are not a formal thing. And when we can eliminate the formalities, this really opens up the floodgates. Our possibilities expand, and all of a sudden we discover that we have people all around us. People that are potential partners are all around us. Family, friends, whether it's forums or social communities online, we are surrounded by partners. So we need to eliminate the formalities. Also, it's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. You have value to give to a partner too. And I'm going to say that again because it's important for us to understand that you have value to give to your partner too. Now, you may not even know what value you're going to bring to that partnership, and that may be discovered in the process, but you absolutely have something to give to a partner. It's not just about you. That a partnership is mutual. You have something that will be of benefit to both of you. So it's a two-way street. Also, it doesn't have to be awkward. And I love that image. It's just so awkward. But partnerships don't have to be awkward. There are people that actually enjoy partnering. As a matter of fact, there are people that make it their profession to partner with others, and they do so by getting paid. Now, at the Change Element, we offer coaching services as well as masterminds groups, and we get paid for that, and we absolutely love what we do in that regard. But there are also people that enjoy partnerships that don't get paid for it. See, we think that we have to use the word partner when we go into a conversation. The reality is we don't. Maybe all we're looking for in a partnership is accountability or encouragement or even just another viewpoint. So when we have that conversation with other people, that's all we need to say. We can say, hey, look, Bob, I'm doing this new thing and I know it's going to be a struggle and I'm going to probably want to get distracted or stop at some point. So would I be able to check in with you once a week and just let you know where I'm at and you can hold me accountable, maybe even encourage me and give me your perspective? That's all we need to say. We don't have to use the word partner. So it doesn't have to be awkward. And then look, there are people ready and willing to help you. We are surrounded by potential partners that are ready and willing to help us. So that's secret number 3, that partners will actually make us. Partners don't break us. And this is such an important thing for us to remember. Look, I am nobody special. My mom says I'm special, but that's a mom's view. In fact, it wasn't that long ago that I was really, really struggling to find meaningful success in my life. And that's what I wanted. I wanted meaningful success. I was running a business and I was finding success in that, but I really wasn't where I wanted to be holistically. There were things that I was absolutely passionate about, things that I thought I would love doing, but I really didn't know how to move forward towards those things. The motivation was there. And we talked about that earlier. The motivation was there, but I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a clue of how to work towards that goal. So I looked for resources. But all the looking that I did, I really didn't find what was going to help me. And I needed help to work through the process of creating, planning, and achieving those goals. And I just couldn't find those resources anywhere that I looked. And so I did the last thing that I wanted to do, but it ended up being the best thing that I could have possibly done. I found partners. And this is huge, guys. I told you that it wasn't until I found partners that I started to see the type of success that I wanted to see. And so I found partners, and we formed a team that is dedicated to helping others achieve success and significance in their life. And I'm so passionate about the Change Element and what we're doing here. And it's all about impacting other people. It's all about impacting you guys and helping you guys make the changes that you need to make. So what we did when we got together as a Change Element, we needed something that was going to help us get over our humps, something that was going to help us break through our barriers. And so we went researching, and again, we didn't find it. So we started testing, and we built our own goal-setting system. And what we discovered is that really anyone can use this system to break through the barriers. And once we did this, we started to see the success that we wanted to see. And since applying the system in my personal life, I've also been able to do so much. I've started a new company doing what I am absolutely passionate about, and I love doing it. I've made time for the things that matter most, things like family, my community, and volunteering, and also the hobbies that I do, all the do-it-yourself stuff. And I'm also experiencing meaningful success, the very thing that I was looking for. This system is not just for career changers, though. Look, I know that most of you are entrepreneurs and business professionals, and maybe you feel stuck, and maybe your business barrier is the job that you're in. And this system can certainly help you figure that out, but it's not just for those that are looking to change careers. This is really for anyone. People have used this system to learn a new language, to travel, to actually improve their financial status and improve their health. People have used this system to go back to school, to finally get that degree that they've been wanting for so long. This system is completely practical for anyone and everyone. Now, do you want to break through the barriers finally? And in the process of breaking through the barriers, do you want to skyrocket your success? And if the answer is yes, then it's doing the 3 secrets. It's believing that you can, first of all. It's starting with the mental game and seeing and envisioning that success first. And then 2, it's about having a plan, having that step-by-step action plan that's going to help you get to your goals. And then 3, it's about finding the right partner. So essential, so crucial to us achieving success. We can't do it alone. We need to find partners in that process. Now, I want to share a case study really quick. And I really like this story so much. Janine is really, she's the first person that we approached after we created the system. And we created the system for us, and we applied it to us at the Change Element, and it worked. So we knew that it would work in the business environment, but we wanted to find out if this system would actually work for really anybody. And so we approached Janine, and we walked her through the system, and we talked her through it, and she was committed to it. She was intentional, and she decided to take action on it. And what she discovered by applying the system to her life was a few things that were super insightful to us. First, she just put it out there. So this system helped her create the goals that she needed to move her forward towards the future that she really envisioned for herself. And once she created those goals, she just put it out there. She told family and friends and select people on Facebook. And what was amazing to her was that she got so much encouragement. And it ended up being that encouragement that she got that helped her move on to the next step. So putting it out there, telling select people about your goals is such a big part of it. And then the second thing was that scheduling made a big difference. Again, that seems so simple, but so few of us actually schedule out our time, schedule out our days and our weeks and the month and the year. And so she found that scheduling made such a big difference, and it opened up her schedule, and she had more time than she thought that she did. And then third, it was the partners that kept her on track. And she admitted this, that partnerships is not easy for her at all. It's really difficult for her to really engage and partner with other people, but it was the partners that helped keep her on track to achieve her goals. And the result of it was success. So she was able to accomplish things that she's been wanting to do for years, but just didn't have the time or didn't think she had the time to achieve those things. So I really love this case study because it was the first time that it really opened up our eyes to the potential of this course. Now, imagine if this was you. Janine is a special person, absolutely, but it's not a special case. This has worked for so many people. And imagine if this was you. And perhaps you're saying, well, you know, those are personal things that she did to achieve in her life. But I'm looking at business things that are really sort of far out there. Well, the same principles apply to that as well. Now, imagine if you could apply these principles and actually start to achieve all of those things that you've been putting off for so long, or all of those things that have eluded you for so long. How would your life be different if you started to accomplish these things? Now, what if you applied these steps? How could it change your life? And this isn't rhetorical. I want you guys to really think through this. Because again, it starts with the mental game and envisioning success. So how would it feel to know that you don't have to run into that brick wall anymore, that you can avoid the pitfalls and actually continue to build success upon success? And also, how would it feel to have accomplished your biggest and really your wildest goals? Imagine if you were able to do that. That would be crazy, right? That would be amazing if you're able to step into that life. Now, so far, would you guys agree that the time we spent has been valuable, that the three secrets have been valuable information? And I hope that it's even been inspiring. I know it inspires me to teach this and to walk through people through this, because I know of the change that it makes in people's lives. But look, here's the reality. We cannot cover everything that we need to in an hour webinar. And even if I had all day, I wouldn't be able to cover everything that we needed to cover. There's so much more depth and breadth to the three secrets. So would you guys like help from us at the Change Element? Would you guys like help so that you can actually dig deeper into this system, into achieving and accomplishing your goals? And for those of you that do want to dig deeper, we have an amazing offer so that you guys can get everything that you need. And I truly mean that. You're going to get everything that you need to be able to start achieving those big and those wild goals that you have. But see, oftentimes the most difficult part is taking the next step, because the next step is so unclear. And so I want to give you clarity on your next step. And I want to do that right now. But I also don't want to assume that you guys want to dig deeper into this, that you want to really unpack these secrets and get the complete system that you're going to need to move you forward in life, to really start to excel and to experience success and significance. I don't want to assume that. So for those of you that are good with the three secrets and what we've talked about so far, then really this is probably your best time to jump off. But for those of you that want to dig in further, that are really committing to this process and want to take action, and not only action, but the right type of action, then I want to give you guys more. And I want to start by asking you a question. If you could turn your dreams into reality, if you could finally do what excites you the most and achieve what you never thought possible, how much would that be worth to you? Now, I've asked several rhetorical questions in this webinar, and this one isn't one of them. I want you to actually think of a number. What number would you put on that? What would you pay to actually turn your dreams into reality? What would you pay to do what excites you the most? And what would you pay to achieve what you never thought possible? What would you achieve? And while you're thinking of that, I'm going to take a drink of water. Ah, so good. Hopefully you guys have had enough time to put a price on that. Look, information is not enough. Now, the information that we've covered so far is really tangible, practical, concrete information that you guys can use, and you can start to use right now. But information is not enough. We need more than that. We need to take action. And that's what digging deeper is really all about. It's not just about getting more information. It's about taking action. It's about deciding that you're done with the status quo and ready to move on. So at this point, you guys have two choices. The first choice, you can really do nothing and you can go back to doing what you've always done, and that's that status quo. And I talked earlier about the definition of insanity and doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something different. And that's where I was for a period in my life. So you can go back to doing what you guys were doing, or the second option is you can actually take action and you can start making the changes that will lead you to success. But whichever option you choose, here's the thing, is that you are in control. You have the power. I can't force you to make one choice or another, and nobody else can force you to make one choice or another. You are in control. It has to be you intentionally deciding which option you want to choose. And for those of you that want to choose the second option, those of you that want to take action and start making changes, I want you to start saying goodbye. And if you're pumped up and amped up like I am, you can actually start waving goodbye. You're going to wave goodbye to so many of those things that have frustrated you, so many of the things that you hate about the habits of your past. You're going to start saying goodbye to that brick wall that you keep running into. You're going to say goodbye to being alone in this process. And I want you to say hello to change. To making the change that you need to make in your life, to actually begin to design the life that you want to live. And that's really what Digging Deeper is all about. It's a course that we have created called just that, Design Your Life, the blueprint to successful goals. Now, I mentioned earlier that what separates successful people from unsuccessful people is that they have a proven goal-setting system. And that's exactly what the blueprint is. It's a proven goal setting system, and it's what you are going to need to achieve those big goals and big dreams. Now, let me tell you about the system before we go any further. It's a 7 module video course, and within each of those 7 modules, there are several videos, and we walk you through step by step a comprehensive process. And here's the amazing thing about this course is that not only is it comprehensive, we teach you how to create the right goals, but also how to implement them. But it is a sustaining process. And that's what was lacking from so many systems that we researched, is that they were not sustaining. Now, there are 7 things that successful people do. These are things that we discovered in all of our research. These are things that we found out about ourselves as we were creating the system. And here's what they are. First, successful people examine. They examine their past so they understand where they are in the present and how they got there. And then they examine their future and where they want to go. Then successful people define. They create very clear and specific goals. And then 3, they strategize. They create the action plan with step-by-step process to get to those goals. And then 4, successful people have the right resources. We've talked about partners, and regardless of your goal, you absolutely need a partner, and that's one resource. But there are so many others. There are other resources that are going to help move us forward. And successful people know what resources they need and which goals to apply them to. And then 5, successful people execute. They actually take action. And I've sort of beaten a dead horse with this, but it's so important that we take action and not just create a plan, because that information is no good without action. And successful people do that. And then 6, successful people do what we've termed movement. And essentially this is knowing your environment, knowing that in the process of achieving our goals that there are going to be obstacles and pitfalls that are going to come our way. And there are things that we can do to avoid those altogether. And then also there are rewards that we can implement into our life that really speak to our habits and our routines and the neurological background behind keeping us moving in the right direction. And then 7, successful people systematize. They put all of these things into a system that they can implement over and over and over again in their life. And these 7 things are the exact things that design your life, the blueprint to successful goals go through. These are the 7 modules that you're going to go through. And so we're going to uncover each of these 7 modules in depth, and they're going to be comprehensive, and you will have no doubt, and you'll have clarity going forward. Now, this wasn't my intention. I didn't, in my wildest dreams, think that I would be creating a course on goals. I never had that dream. But my plate was full. I had so many things going on, and especially with the change element. And we knew that we needed something that was going to move us forward, something that was going to get us over the hump, something that was going to give us clarity about our future and where we wanted to go, as well as a very strategic and tangible, practical plan that's going to help us get there. So we created that system. We couldn't find it in all of our research, so we did the best thing that we knew how to do, and that was to create it. Now, when we saw what it did for us, and then we started to see what it was doing for other people and the impact it was having, we knew it would be of great benefit to so many others. And really, that's at the core of the change element. That's what we're all about, impacting others and helping them make the transformation that they need to make in their lives to move forward. So let me go through all of the things that you're going to get in this course. First is the 7-module HD video course, and each of those modules, again, have several videos within them, and that's a $1,297 value. And then you're going to get premium audio files to download. Now, this is great because you can listen to the course on your way to work or at the gym, working out, wherever it might be, working in the yard. So this has all of the content from the videos on it, and that's a $697 value. Then you're going to get 21 cheat sheets, one for each of the videos in the course. Now, cheat sheets are basically, they're the bullet points, the big points from each video that you're going to be able to reference and really get a good understanding of the video when you need to come back to them. And it's a quick reference sheet. So those are great. That's a $247 value. You're also going to get the course workbook. That's a $497 value. And I absolutely love this course workbook. It's going to walk you step by step through the entire process. But really what I enjoy so much about it is that not only am I discovering what goals I need and how to get there, but I'm discovering so much about myself as well. And I think it's really a great tool. And then you're also going to get what we call a personal goals blueprint template. Now, the course workbook is comprehensive, and you know, we don't always have time to go back through our workbook. So this is a one-page blueprint that really puts all of the most important, the pertinent information on one page that you can look to really quickly to see where you're at and where you're going. Now, all of this added up together is $2,835 value. Now, who is this really work for? This is work for people that want to achieve greater success in their business or professional lives. We have seen this system work for people that want to grow in their personal life as well, people like Janine. We've seen this work for people that want to make an impact in the world, nonprofits, volunteers, people that just want to help other people that are less fortunate in the world. So powerful. And we've seen this work for people that want to learn a new skill, whatever that skill might be, but to really get clarity around it and move towards it. This has worked really for anyone that doesn't want to stay stagnant. Anyone that wants to really move forward in life. And if you are ready to move forward in life, this is going to work for you too. Because here's the reality is that opportunity is ahead of all of us. It awaits all of us, but not all of us are going to grab on to that opportunity. Now, we're already seeing this make an impact. We're seeing it make an impact in so many different areas and so many different professions. It's really exciting for us. And again, as I said, that's what the change element is all about seeing the impact that's being made in other people. And I really love the first one at the top left there, incredibly in-depth course. I feel like I'm receiving one-on-one coaching with these guys. Love it, from Taylor M., who's a web designer. And I really love that one because that's the way we created the course. We wanted it to feel like it was one-on-one coaching, like we were investing in you personally. And so for somebody to say that, it really means a lot. But there are an executive virtual assistant, business manager, even a doctor, a psychologist. This is impacting people in so many areas. So when we created this system, we really had two choices. The first option was we can go as cheap as possible and sell as many as possible. But this really isn't what we're all about. This wouldn't be fulfilling for us, and we wouldn't really see the impact that we would want it to have on others. And so the second option was really our only option for us, and it requires a little higher of an investment on your end. But in exchange for that investment, we're able to devote really all of the resources that you are going to need to achieve success in your life, and we're able to have a personal hand in that process. Now, again, here's what you're going to get in the course: the 7-module HD video course, the premium audio file downloads, 21 cheat sheets, the amazing course workbook, the personal goals blueprint template. And again, that's $2,835 in value for all of that. But for the first 50 people that sign up, we're going to add on even more. We're going to give you this bonus. And the bonus is the Moving Forward Goals ebook. And this is a great companion to the course and really good to give to friends as well, to get them introduced to what this process is. But we spent a lot of time and energy on this book. And so we're only giving it to the first 50 people that sign up. And so here's what you guys are getting for the first 50. The 7-module video course, the premium audio files, the 21 cheat sheets, the course workbook, the personal blueprint, as well as the Moving Forward Goals ebook. And that's a $2,982 value. Now, I'm not going to charge this price, but I'm going to show you pretty quickly here that this would be an amazing deal at that price. What if all this did was help you achieve your most sought after goal? What would that be worth to you? What is that goal that you desire more than anything else? What would you pay to actually achieve that goal? What if all this course did was help you grow your business? Would it be worth it? What if you wanted to double your revenue? Would this course be worth doing that? Or let's say all this course did at the very minimum was get you moving in life. Would it be worth it? So many of us are stagnant and we're just not sure what to do or what step to take. What if this system got you moving in the right direction? What would it be worth to you? What are your goals worth to you? And again, it's not a rhetorical question. Are your goals valuable? Because if they're not, then one, perhaps you're on the wrong webinar, because this is for people that are really striving for big goals, things that they really want to achieve. So our goals need to be of value to us. Or two, maybe you just haven't set the right goals yet. So what are your goals worth to you? What's one goal worth? If it's doubling your revenue, would you pay $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 or more to make that happen? If you were to achieve your goals, then how much would you be willing to pay? And hopefully at this point, you've got that number in your head. What would you guys be willing to pay to actually start achieving the goals that you have, to start achieving success and significance in your life? Perhaps today you're feeling tired. You're feeling worn out. You've been beating your head against that wall just like I was, and you're tired of it. You're not sure where to go. Maybe you're even frustrated and worn out. That's today. That's how you're feeling today. But with one decision, to actually invest in yourself and invest in this course, tomorrow that can change. You can start to experience excitement, start to do and work towards the things that you are so passionate about, the things that align with your purpose. Now, you can see why it's a good deal at almost $3,000. And that's why I said that. I'm going to show you it's actually a great deal at that price. When I think about this and what I would spend to achieve the goals that my wife and I share, in a heartbeat, I would spend $3,000 for us to achieve those goals. And so at that price, it is really an amazing value. But I've said this several times throughout the webinar that our time is really our most precious asset. And because you guys have spent time with me on this webinar, I feel like you have already given me so much. And so because you've spent time with me on this webinar, this is what we're doing. We're doing this course for $497 today. This is an amazing price for everything that you're going to get. It's going to change the way that you work towards the goals and the dreams that you have. And you can do that for $497 today. Now, for the first 20 people, and this is really huge. We love coaching. Coaching is really at the heart of the change element. And so we wanted to be able to do some personal coaching with people. And so for the first 20 people that sign up, we're going to do personal coaching sessions with you. That's 3 sessions. And typically that's almost a $2,000 value. So this alone is worth $497. By far, but you're going to get so much more. And for the first 20 people, we're going to have those one-on-one conversations to really get clarity and understanding. So that's the second bonus, a really amazing thing. But again, our time is a precious resource and limited, so we can only do this for the first 20 people. Now, here's what you're going to get with everything included: the 7-module HD video course, the premium audio files, the 21 cheat sheets, the course workbook, the personal goals blueprint template, the moving forward goals ebook for the first 50, and the personal coaching sessions for the first 20. And altogether, that's $4,979 for all of that. And you're being charged only $497 today. Again, $497. That's a fraction of the value and an amazing deal. So don't delay. You can go to thechangeelement.com/go, or right below this video, there's a link that you can click on as well. And that will take you right to the page that you need to go to. And look, we are all creatures of habit, right? We've heard that. And our habits, they die hard. It can be difficult to make change, to be very conscious and to apply the effort that we need to apply to make the change in the life that we need. But we absolutely have to do that. See, because we can't start the next chapter of our life if we keep rereading the last chapter. We've got to turn the page. We've got to move on. We've got to be intentional and take action and decide for ourselves to move forward. Now, you have 2 choices. We had 2 choices when we created this course, and now you have 2 choices as well. First, you can do nothing. You don't invest in yourself, and that's 100% risk-free. When I can probably argue that that's very risky not to invest in yourself, but that's one option. It's not to do anything and not invest in yourself. Or 2, you can make this small investment today, and compared to all of the value you get in return, just give it a shot. Look, $497 for everything that you get in return. Just give it a shot. And if it works, that's amazing. That's great. And if it doesn't work, all you have to do is ask for your money back and you're going to get it. So there's actually no risk with the second option either. Now here's the details of that. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. All you have to do is sign up. And if you don't like it for any reason, and you can let us know at the very last second that, you know what, this just isn't for me. It's not working for me. Just send us your completed workbook and we'll give you your money back. Now we ask for the completed workbook because we are convinced that this is going to help you. And so by going through the workbook, we know that you've got some skin in the game, that you've actually taken the time to work through this and you've tried it. And if at that point it doesn't work for you, then you get your money back completely risk-free. So at this point, look, the real question is this: what does success look like to you? And is it worth it this small investment? What does success look like for you? Is it getting that executive position at work? Is it perhaps being able to travel the world? Or is it maybe starting that nonprofit and really being able to make a change in other countries? What is success? What does success look like to you? And is it worth $497? And if so, all you've got to do is go to thechangeelement.com/go. Look, $497 is, in the grand scheme of things, extremely inexpensive. Money replenishes. As a matter of fact, today's Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. So many of us are going to get paid tomorrow on Friday, and our money is going to get replenished. But here's the thing: what doesn't get replenished is our time. Our time, we cannot get that back. And so the more time that you waste, the more of an asset you lose. And I told you it took me 5 years to finally make a decision. That's 5 years of time that I lost. Don't make that same decision. Don't waste time and take action now. See, other courses can help you create goals. There are some really nice goal setting courses out there, and you'll walk away with a clear goal. But here's the difference. With Design Your Life, you're actually going to learn how to achieve those goals. And that's what we were looking for, something that was comprehensive and sustaining, something that actually helped us achieve the goals that we created. Now, there's the tale of two people. This is the dude from The Big Lebowski. And while he's a funny character, an enjoyable character that we enjoy watching if you've seen the movie, he is certainly not somebody that I want to be like, somebody that I want to emulate. No, he sits there and doesn't do a whole lot. And so we all sort of go through this in our own mind. When we come upon a fork in the road, we need to make a decision. Either we're going to choose to just sit there, to do the status quo and allow life to pass us by, or we're going to take life in our own hands and start to make decisions that we control and that we have the power to influence and change our future. Now, let me show you what to do next. So you can go to thechangeelement.com and you can either type that in or click on the link right below this video and you'll land on this page. Extremely simple process. We've made this so easy for you guys. All you have to do is hit register now and you go through a secure checkout. There's no delay on this. As soon as you go through it, you have instant access to all of it. Now, there's also the 30-day money-back guarantee, and you have lifetime access to this. You can continue to return to Design Your Life over and over again as much as you need to. Now, just to go through this again, here's what you guys are going to get. You're going to get the 7-module HD video course, the premium audio files, the 21 cheat sheets, the course workbook, the personal goals blueprint, the moving forward goals ebook, and the personal coaching sessions. Amazing. Almost $5,000 in value, and you're going to get it for $497 today. So look, don't delay. Go to the website below or click that link below the video and start to invest in yourself today. Again, you are in control. Now, in the beginning, I promised that I was going to give you a free lesson or a free video for sticking with us till the end. This is it. There's the URL below. You can copy that and put it in your browser. It's thechangeelement.com/watch/reclaim your focus. And again, that video is really going to help us hone in and figure out what we need to focus on, what's important and what's not. If you haven't signed up at this point, then perhaps it's because you have convinced yourself of one of a couple things. Maybe you've told yourself that you're not capable, that you're just not capable of adding another thing to your plate, or you're not capable of getting over this hump or this barrier, or you're not capable of success. Or maybe you've told yourself that you just don't have enough time. There's way too much going on. There's no way you can fit something else into it. Or maybe you've told yourself that you don't have help. Now, we've addressed all three of these with the secrets. You are absolutely capable, and it starts with believing that you are. And you do have enough time. It's about planning and scheduling. And this course is going to help you do that. And you'll discover that you have more time than you thought you had. And then the third one, I don't have help. Partners are absolutely essential. And with this course, not only are you going to learn how to find the right partners that you need, but you're going to be in partnership with others who are going through this course as well. Look, again, I am nothing special, even though my mom says I am. But I discovered that I can't do it alone, even though I tried. I tried as hard as I could to do it alone, but I couldn't. And I struggled with feeling overwhelmed, just doing more and more. And I failed in the past. I've told you guys about that. But even with all of those things, I was still able to achieve success by applying this course to my life. And you can too. So again, for the last time, here's what you're going to get: the 7-module HD video course, the premium audio file download, the 21 cheat sheets, the course workbook, personal goals blueprint template, goals ebook, and the personal coaching sessions, all for $497 today. Man, thank you guys so much for being here. This has been amazing, so amazing. You're amazing, and life is amazing, and let's be amazing.